me. Okay, we are logged on to YouTube. Un segundo, por favor. Bueno. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning to the world of social media. Good morning to the voice of the people within the mazes of social media. Good morning to everybody. This morning's topic is titled The Slaves Roll Call. Right now, the slaves are doing a roll call, and you have to be very attentive to even understand that there is an actual roll call going on. About 200 years ago, we will say 200 years ago, about 200 years ago, Rome. Do you people know what Rome is? Do you understand when you're speaking of the Roman Empire? Do you understand that Rome owns even Europe, even England? That's why they call it the Church of England. It belongs to Rome. Rome is a powerful empire, and the Roman Empire is just getting started, bitches. The Roman Empire is just established global order. So why would it stop for you? Why would it stop existing for you? So let's talk about the slaves. Who do the slaves belong to? The slaves belong to Rome. Whether they are black, white, yellow, purple, the slaves belong to Rome. Do not ever forget that. This is real life Roman Empire. This is real life results. That's why the slaves always carry out rhetoric to confuse you. And that's why it's not good to listen to slaves, because they will confuse you. So pay attention, people. This morning's lecture is titled The Slaves Roll Call. 200 years ago, Rome took time to drop slaves in different parts of the Americas, just like it had done in different parts of the Africas. Don't forget, there is no such thing as an African in the technical term, because Africa has countries and boundaries and frontiers. So we are all coming from some type of geography. It's better to be specific about your geography rather than say I'm African. African the fuck what? Because I'm an American, the fuck what with that too. So find your geography to identify yourself, because you cannot just be an African. That is the talk of the slaves, and that is how Rome has taught the slaves to speak. Let's talk about it. This is very interesting. I actually enjoy this topic because I've done so much research on it. It's good to share with some people what I've learned. So, about 200 years ago, Rome took time to drop slaves in different parts of the Americas, just like it had dropped slaves in different parts of the Africas around the 500s, around way before the end of the first century. Okay, this is a job that Rome is consciously doing. Rome is not dumb. Do not listen to the slaves when they say white people are dumb. The slaves don't fucking know anything. The slaves are here to protect the white people. The slaves are not here to tell you the truth. So when the slaves say white people are dumb and white people and shit, don't listen to the slaves, because the white people have been able to put their heads together, and they have been able to unite to govern all of us. So dumb people cannot achieve such greatness. Okay, so before you are going around saying white people are dumb and white people and shit, look what they've done to you. Look what they've achieved just spite of you. Okay, and look how many slaves they have working for them, and they are controlling their slaves. Rome doesn't have to be like, listen, when the slaves are talking and they are saying white people and shit, white people and this and that, when you go to social services, you don't see white people, you see the slaves. So the white people are smart enough to have the slaves govern their institutions and not even complain about it. So enough with labeling people dumb and calling people stupid, because they're not. They're not dumb and they're not stupid. The slaves are, but the slaves will never admit it. So let's go back to what happened about 200 years ago. 200 years ago, Rome came to conquer the Americas, just like Rome had already conquered the Africas. You have to understand that Rome used the slaves to conquer Africa. Africa is an entire continent. Rome used the slaves to go from country to country and to dismantle those countries. Rome used the slaves to go from kingdom to kingdom and to dismantle the kingdoms. Don't forget, if you are a real Creole woman, if you are a real Creole like myself, don't forget you also had ancestors that came from the Dahomey kingdom. And don't forget around 1100, Rome went and attacked your ancestors in the Dahomey kingdom using the Hebrew slaves, using the slaves with the black skin, using the Berber dynasty, using the Arabs. Don't forget your geography. Fuck their history. So when you spend 30 minutes with me, you spend 30 minutes doing great things because I get to share all of my learnings with you. So pay attention, please, people. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Facebook. For those of you who are privileged to listen to my lecture, I am inviting you to shop with Lahaney. Shop with me. I have my store. It's online. You can find my store at www.theanshop.com, and where you will find great specials. I have not even taken down my specials for lack of timing, but you will be able to shop with me. I have great, wonderful products. One of my signature product right now is a Superstar because I am solving baldness. For all the bald bitches with the bad edges, with the damaged edges, you can come to me. You can run to me. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So about 200 years ago, Rome started dropping slaves in all specific parts of the Americas. Unfortunately for my ancestors, Rome dropped a lot of slaves on our territory. Unfortunately for my ancestors, the slaves are well trained. The slaves are going to use my skin color to tell me I'm your race. And I'm telling a slave, I really don't know you. That's just a skin color. I mean, I have family that are rocks and trees. How can you be my family just with my skin color? Like, back off. So 200 years ago, that was the strategy. The strategy was to use those black-skinned people to drop them in different parts of the Americas to confuse the native population. The goal is to confuse the native population. The goal is for the slaves to blend in with the native population. The goal is that within 200 years, the slaves will take your territory and give it to Rome. Amen, amen, in the name of Rome. The slaves will take your geography and give it to Rome. The dirty job is done by the slave, the same black-skinned slaves. They do the dirty job. They endanger your presence. They endanger your property. They endanger your geography. They endanger your traditions. They endanger your culture and your knowledge. And that's why Rome puts them in your land. That's what they've been doing from the beginning of the destruction, even of the Egyptian empire. The fucking slave took that down too, because Rome was envious of the Egyptian empire. Don't you see that Rome has copied everything that Egypt did? The religion, the Jesus, all of that, the Bible, all of that belonged to Egypt. And when Rome conquered Egypt, it took everything from Egypt. And it couldn't have happened without the Hebrew slaves, people. So 200 years ago, Rome dropped a bunch of slaves in different parts of the Americas. From my island, from my ancestors' land, which is Hispaniola. Don't forget, as late as 1770 something, Rome was bringing slaves from Jamaica to Haiti. The Jamaicans and the Haitians, we are not the same people. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Just because we have black skin, that means we all the same? Fuck out of here. About just as late as 1770, 1780 something, Rome was still bringing slaves to Haiti by way of Jamaica. So you had a bunch of slaves coming from Jamaica to invade this island. The slaves are the invaders. The slaves do the dirty work. When you think you have gotten rid of slavery, but that's when slavery begins, because the slaves maintain slavery. The slaves don't want to be free. The slaves are coming to entrap you. The slaves want you to go in conflict with their masters. The slaves want you to go in conflict with Rome, because you're going to lose. Because the slaves are the traitors. They're going to act like they're on your side, but they're not on your side. They are coming to take your respect. They are coming to take the respect of your women, your children. They're coming to take your land. They're coming to take everything you have and give it to Rome. That's the job of the slaves. So 200 years ago, Rome dropped a bunch of slaves in different parts of the Americas. And let me tell you, right now, the slaves have collected. Let me tell you how you can tell. Right now, the slaves are using the arts to create trouble, to create problems. And right now, the slaves are using the arts to rise. And when I say rise, to compete with you who may have a good heart, who may have a conscience. The slaves are going to make you feel uncomfortable. They're going to make you feel like you're too poor, like you're not bright enough, like you're not blinging enough, like you're not shining enough. That's their job, because guess what? The slaves belong to the institutions. How can you compete with the slaves? Le bœuf pour savon pour. The slaves belong to the institution belongs to Rome. How can you compete with the slaves? So right now, what we are seeing the collection of that, whatever was dropped 200 years ago, we are seeing a collection of it, because blood is blood. Blood will call your blood. It doesn't matter if it's 400 years ago, the blood doesn't lose the blood. So right now, the bloodline of the slaves is manifesting. The slaves are fucking Irish, son. The slaves are on top of the world. You got your P. Diddy, you got your fucking descendants of Richard Pryor. You got all these motherfucking slaves. They are on top of the world. And they are coming to compete with you. And they are going to piggyback on your skin color to make you do dumb shit. Don't go compete with no fucking slaves. The slaves belong to the institution. The institutions belong to Rome. You can't compete with the fucking slaves. The slaves are here to make you feel like you ain't good enough, to make you feel like you don't have enough, to make you feel like you ain't shit. And the slaves are going to go into and tempt you. They're going to play with your low morality and your low scruples to make you feel like you have to act like them, pop your pussy, flash your dick, fuck everybody, fuck dogs, fuck. No, that's what the slaves want you to act like. The slaves want you to fuck chicken, dogs, humans, fish. The slaves are that type of motherfuckers. They have done it all. There's nothing they have not done. These slaves have been all over the world with Rome. Those are Rome's most powerful tool. And Rome used them well. So right now, you're going to find that the slaves that they dropped into Haiti 200 years ago, they're going to start doing the same shits that the slaves of the United States are doing. And don't be surprised. Don't be shocked. The slaves are supposed to act a lot because their blood will call each other to each other. It's the bloodline of the slaves. The bloodline of the slaves is way different than my bloodline. That's why when the slaves see me, they hate me, because I don't look like a fucking slave. Right now, the Haitians, the fucking slaves that was dropped on my island, you're going to see them react to the slaves of the United States. Right now, all of the slaves are reacting in harmony. All of the slaves are in sync. When it comes to the destruction, the slaves are all doing the same destruction because they are all the same bloodline. These are the fucking slaves that came to invade your country, and they are using your skin color, black people, this, black people, that, to fuck you up. They will fuck up your daughters. They will fuck up your son. Your sons will turn into fucking turnover bottles. Your daughters will turn into pussy hoes. Watch. The minute you begin to tolerate the cultures of the slaves, your morality go down. Your country will go down. You will lose territory. You ain't gonna be shit. And that was today's lecture. I will see you all later. I hope you have a great day. And when you see people acting out and being destructive, you have to understand it's their blood. They cannot help it. And don't let nobody make you act stupid just because you have black skin. Don't let nobody make you think that you have to be stupid, or that you have to be ratchet, or that you have to put your pussy in somebody's face, or that you have to have no morals just because you have black skin. Let the slaves continue to manifest the destruction because their children are paying for it. You want to go and join the slaves, your children will pay for it too. What I do recommend is that you all get the fuck out of my country and give you the chance to be. Right now in the 21st century, nobody can hide the truth from all of us. We all know that my country was bombarded with slaves. And we all know that those slaves have been making the lives of me, people like me, the lives of the original people of the island. You fucking slaves have been making our lives miserable. It's time for you to separate yourself from the slaves. What bloodline do you represent? Do you represent the bloodline of people who don't have any conscience or who keep acting destructively? Where you cannot even respect the people next to you, or you cannot even be able to love one another? If you're that type of person, then you're a fucking slave. But look at the peaceful people of the world who are not like you. We are the difference. We are not like you. You want to make us think just because we have black skin that we ain't shit and we're the devil and we're supposed to open our pussy and open our penis and let everybody suck it? No, those type of immorality belong to the slaves. They belong to the Hebrew slave. And if you follow the patterns of behaviors and the patterns of what geography they have already destroyed, you can know exactly who the Hebrew slaves are. One thing that I work to become a leader in my country. The minute I have a budget, I will give all of the slaves visa. They can go elsewhere. They can go to other countries. They can go to the USA and belong with the USA slaves, because those are the governing slaves. Right now, the USA slaves, they are the best. They are on top of the world of the slaves. They are the slaves that tell you what to do. They are the slaves that tell you how to act. They got the TV. They got everything. The propaganda is all over the place. The propaganda has even reached under the rock because those slaves have the power of distribution. So I think all of the slaves should get together in the USA. When it comes to small island, my country is a small island. I think you guys can leave it alone so the people like me can go home with peace, in peace, live in peace. But the slaves, they want you in pieces. They don't want you to have peace. And that's the goal of the slave. The goal of the slave is to destabilize you. And if you think a slave is your friend just because you have the same skin color, that's bullshit. You got white skin color slaves, you have black skin color slaves. Don't fuck and take a skin color matters so much to tell you who's a slave. The worst slaves are the white women, the white skin slaves, the white bitches. Those are the worst fucking slaves. They have no morality, no conscience. Once you have brainwashed that bitch, she's good for life. She can give birth to 10 babies and all 10 babies will be just like her. They make good slaves. So the slaves are in harmony right now. The slaves are in sync. They are using the rap music to connect. They are using the entertainment world. They are using Hollywood. They are using the mainstream media, ABC, NBC, Fox, to fuck with people like me. Natives. Natives who have no wishes. I have no wish to belong to that world. I don't want to belong to that world. I don't want to benefit from the slaves, whatever they give to slaves. I don't want it. But me, I end up suffering because the slaves are a powerful gang. They are a tough gang. Huh. All right, guys. This is it for this morning. That's enough for my lecture. I'm inviting all of you to shop with me. Log on to my website. It's www.theanshop.com. Right now, I have a signature product. My signature product is my superstar product because it is giving results. It works. I am helping those of you who have been buying hairs from other bitches. So if you've been buying other bitches' pubic hair and you've damaged your own edges, I can help you help. I'm just kidding, guys. That marketing was a joke. That marketing was a joke. So let me do the joke again. If you're the type of hoe who's been wearing another hoe's hair in your own head and you've damaged all your own edges, I can help you, bitch. I wish you all a great Tuesday. I'm going to have a watch party with the English class. I'm not going to do, well, not sure yet because right now I'm doing so much work. Not sure I'm going to have enough time to do, to come live or just to do a watch party. So time will tell. In the meantime, I gotta work. I will see you all in a few. I will come back live to speak with the Haitians in Creole. In a few. But in the meantime, I'm wishing all of you a good day. Happy Tuesday. Excuse me, guys. Happy Tuesday to you all. Happy Tuesday to YouTube. Happy Tuesday to Facebook. Happy Tuesday to all of you. Social media all over. I hope you guys understood the purpose of this lecture. The purpose of this lecture is for you to know yourself. For you to know your geography means that you know yourself. Don't let people fuck with you. Don't let people tempt you. Whether or not, like, this is what I've realized because I have lived in huge mansion houses and I have lived in small houses. What I realize is at the end of the day, if you don't have respect, it doesn't matter where you live. Because the satisfaction to love yourself and to honor yourself will not be present if you don't know how to respect yourself. So, yes, living in a mansion is beautiful, but I also want my self respect in the mansion. I also want morality in the mansion. I don't want to live like a slave. I don't want to serve the institutions of slaves. I want to stay faithful to my ancestors. I'm from Hispaniola. I'm a Hispanic woman from Hispaniola. I don't care how many slaves steal my title. The slaves, they piggyback on my title, they piggyback on my skin color. It doesn't matter. I'm still a Creole woman from Hispaniola. I'm still Hispanic from Hispaniola. That bloodline still owns that island. That island still belongs to me. Good day, everybody. Ciao.